Hello, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy Tactics Rebirth. Sorry for the long delay on uploading. I've had a number of things happen in the meantime. The first being getting sucked into the dark hole known as Europa Universalis 4. I spent a day in that horribly addicting state of just one more turn, and didn't end up uploading for that day. But the second thing that happened after I uninstalled the game from my hard drive, having regained my sanity for a brief moment, was that I went down to Goog, did the event after Nelveska Temple. Cloud appeared, and I read an FAQ and it said, oh, you need to go to Zarkidis, Trade City. I believe it said that, yes. And then I read another FAQ and it said, you need to go to Igros Castle. Okay, so I went there. So, as you can imagine, that is a lot of random encounters going all the way up and around the map. And I read another FAQ and it said, oh, actually you can't go to Igros Castle until after you've defeated Dysadarg. So, that's where you fight him, by the way. So, first we're going to have to take care of Dysadarg, and then we can get Cloud in our party. A little bit annoying, but, so it goes. Well, as for our characters, Agrius is finally a Lunar Knight. Not too much of a surprise there, considering how many random encounters we did. And I gave her a move, Get JP. It's a pretty crazy skill when you think about just how much JP that can give you. And Knight Sword, HP absorb. So, as far as items go, she's got the Defender, and the reason I gave it to her is because the Lunar Knight is not able to equip a shield. So, I actually don't really feel that bad about missing out on that shield at Nelveska Temple now, because, well, I can't really use it with her anyway, and I can't use it with any of my other characters either. Can't use it with Lavian, can't use it with Ramza, and, certainly can't use it with Alicia or Agrius. So yeah, there's no point to me having that item, so I don't feel like I missed out on all that much. As far as her other skills go, I still haven't given her a counter skill, and that's because I'm waiting for getting damage split. That will be excellent. Very, very good skill. Nothing new here, nothing new there. Basically, all my other characters have hit their cap in terms of skill progression. I will eventually be giving Agrius attack up, but that is after, of course, she gets the skills I need for her. I'll be doing it before we master the job, but probably after we get damage split and the relevant sword skills. So yeah, Agrius is pretty much like a toned-down version of TG Sid, or Landu. And that's cool. She's really strong. Really, really good. Okay, so we also got Rhys. You'll notice that her sprite has been changed. The bottom of her body is a palette swap of Agrius. Looks like they slightly changed the chest piece on her sprite to give her a larger bust than Agrius has. And the head is actually one of the assassin sprites palette swapped. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really know if it was necessary to change this sprite, but anyway, let's go watch the cinematics where you get her. since I did not include that in my previous Nelveska Temple video. So, I believe it is this one here. For some reason it is after the cloud scene, although it didn't actually happen that way chronologically. Alright. So you'll notice that the sprite is garbled here. Lots of strange artifacts on it. And this also happens in the next cinematic we'll see, and it's a result of the mod creators swapping out the sprite for another one. And I can't say I am a huge fan of that change. Doesn't look very good at all. So why does Mustadio say, "Here he comes," there? I assume what happened is, I mean, based on my personal experience translating game scripts, what happened was that the translator was handed the script and didn't really know the context of the scene. And so, because Cloud is summoned, he assumed that it must be he, because in the Japanese it was probably totally undefined as to whether it was an it or he or she that Mustadio was referring to. So the translator just guessed at what it was, lacking the context of the scene, and assumed that Mustadio already knew that the thing that was being summoned was in fact a young man named Cloud. And Cloud here must be referring to the life stream from Final Fantasy VII, which really brings me back in terms of like, oh, that was a long time ago that I played Final Fantasy VII. And you can see this crazy jankiness with the sprite going on with Cloud as well. And hopefully that doesn't appear in battle. It shouldn't. It should only appear on the cinematic only sprite frames. And I have to say, I don't really like the look of Cloud's new sprite either. I think it was an attempt to match up the sprite to the sprite in Advent Children. But yeah, it doesn't look that good to me. Unfortunate, but that's what happened. So yeah, once we have the opportunity, we will be able to get Cloud. And we will use him. We'll get the Materia Blade, and we'll kick some ass. So, I believe that's all I have to do in terms of the storyline here. I'll even need to save, but I'm just doing it as a reflex. And we're going to go to Germinas Peak. A barren land with little rainfall. Alright. Now, I kind of cheated and took a look at this level before I started this video. Just because I was kind of excited to get back to doing a storyline mission after doing so many random encounters. A man can only kill so many chocobos before he tires of it. So I do have an idea of what we're getting ourselves into, and on one level this is just kind of a throwaway bandit slaughter mission, but it's in fact also quite challenging as a gameplay, from a gameplay perspective. It's not as easy as some of the other missions we've been doing. So I guess we'll put lab in there. And now I just remember, like, in vanilla FFT soloing this mission with Orlando. Oh, I suppose you want to also see what Rhys can do, what her skills are, so I will check that out after this mission is over. They are kind of interesting. Your GP or your HP, as they say. So, ninjas and archers. Things to look out for that I found in this mission is obviously their huge damage potential, and also their capacity to charm female characters, the archers in particular. Okay, that could be good. Let's try this. Go! Yes! Hopefully he'll do some nice damage to the enemies and kind of throw them into disarray. Oh yeah. I never understood why they gave the enemies that skill. It's like, well, what are they gonna use the buddy for? Is it just there for kind of like flavor or interest's sake? I wonder if that would hit this enemy here. Might be worth trying. Could also go after the... yeah, that seems like a solid plan. So the last time I did this mission, I wasn't able to actually get Ramza up on top of the hill to begin with. Wahahaha. Your thrown sword cannot counter my carpet. Or piece of fabric, I guess it might be. Most powerful parrying weapon known to man. That's one we haven't seen much. Right, here's a copy here. So what I want to do is avoid getting too close to this guy because he does have charm. And I said this mission is going to be really hard, but it actually looks like it's going really well for us. So sorry for creating some unjustified hype around this level. So yeah, with the Defender and using the Rune Knight class, Agrius is doing significantly more damage than what she was doing well, as a wizard, I should say. That isn't much of a surprise, but it's a fact. Might be able to, no, it's too much elevation difference there, so I guess I'll just go with a haste on Agrius. Never a bad idea. And I did eat quite a bit of a speed disadvantage by just attacking with Remza instead of using Cheer Song, but I think like the most important thing on this mission is to negate the enemy's terrain advantage, starting way down here, and that's like 15 height versus 0. Yeah, so getting rid of that and getting on the offensive so as to prevent them from preemptively slaughtering your party is just more important than building up your speed to begin the mission. So, let's see here. So yeah, I mean, having a black costume would be nice. Don't really see anything else I'm too interested in. So I think what I'm going to do with her actually is go back down here and use Nameless Dance. And the reason why I'm doing this is just to keep away from those archers with charm. Really scary. Asim should take care of that other ninja in the corner for us. Good. And now Ramza does this. So the question then becomes, do we want to wait for crystals and try to get some interesting skills from these guys? 2 rounds. So Agrius is probably going to get charmed. Unless this comes through for us and does something interesting. Ah, there we go. Yeah, we'll just continue doing that for the moment. And I would like to cast Stop on the ninja that we have charmed. Okay, well, that's one way to do it. Not really what I was looking for. Ideally, I would like to try to get 2 swords with Agrius. I don't know if it's really as good as attack up, but could be reasonably useful. I just turn him into a chicken too. One way to do it. Waiting around. Slow? Okay, that's good too. There we go. It's not gonna do anything to us now. I guess I'll go after this guy. Alright, treasure box. Ramsey can go for that. Sell that or something. Really need the money, but okay. Cool. Kinda nice. Let's get ready to take this guy out. Bye. So, sorry to disappoint. I thought that actually was going to be an interesting mission, but it just turned out to be a cakewalk. And now, at least we'll get to show you what Rhys's abilities are. So she's got her breath weapons that she had in vanilla. And Holy Breath, yeah. And then she also has these abilities. So she can invite dragons. She can use like what is basically wish on dragons, as well as cancel a huge variety of status ailments they have. So it's like a combination of wish and that other, Squire ability, but better. I think for monks it's called like Stigma Magic or something. And then this one is a general buff with Dargon Energy, eh? Yeah, so raises speed, physical and magic attack power. Pretty kick-ass. And then this one is a combination of like Last Song with I don't know, like I don't know if there's even any ability else that or other than this that even does that AT effect. Oh, that's interesting. Because I don't know if dragons even have a CT, like if they have any skills that have a cast time. But anyway, it speeds up dragons, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, it would be fun to do a build based around Rhys and some dragons, and if I happen to get into an encounter that has some interesting dragons in it, I'll be sure to invite them into the party, and maybe we can make that happen. I don't really want to do much grinding with her, but or leveling with her, I should say. But I don't know, it could be fun, it could be worth it. I might just like bring her along in random encounters, because it does get boring to use always the same party in random encounters. So that's Rhys. That is it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And my next episode hopefully will be going up tomorrow. I will be busy for the later half of this week, so I'm hoping I'll get one out tomorrow, and then, you know, it'll just be more or less one day of break again until we can probably finish, or get close to finishing Limberry Castle. So the next place we're going is Weskus Lake. I think it's one of the more memorable maps in the game, so hopefully you will enjoy it when we get there.